Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Gary here. It is Saturday, May 23rd. Hope you're all having a great weekend so far. Memorial Day weekend. I tell you what, this is the weekend where people don't have to go to work on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and some of these companies will give them off Monday too. Well, Monday is Memorial Day, so yeah, they're going to be off. They'll get off work early Friday. They have all day Saturday, all day Sunday, all day Monday off. Fuck. When I worked in retail, those were the weekends we worked our ass off. Okay, so today's episode is titled Hunk and Chunk. For people that cut meat for a living, when I did, people nationwide, that's a term. You can go to any butcher shop, any grocery store, anywhere in the country, coast to coast, and say, hey, you got a bunch of meat cutters back there behind the scenes? And they go, oh yeah. You got any hunk and chunkers? They'll know exactly what you're talking about. So a hunk and chunker. Before I go into that, there's three types of meat cutters. There's the hunk and chunker. That's the person that takes a piece of meat and hacks away at it with a knife. It doesn't have any skill whatsoever. No skill. No skill. We'll leave a bunch of fat on one side of the steak and then no fat on the other side of the steak. We'll hack through it like a dog's been chewing on it. Throw it in a tray, send it down the line, and have the meat wrapper wrap it, price it, and put it in the case. And then when the consumer goes to the case and looks at the meat, they go, wow, why does this T-bone steak look so pretty? This one looks so perfectly pretty. And they go through, oh, this one looks really nice too. And then they come across one the hunk and chunker got. And they go, what the hell is that? What the hell is that? It says T-bone, but it doesn't look anything like a T-bone steak. That's the hunk and chunker. That's the person that was trained to cut meat, but was too lazy to apply himself to the trade and didn't give a fuck what the meat looked like because he was going to get paid just as much as the guy that knew how to cut meat. They cut a lot of meat real fast with no quality behind it. No quality behind it. They don't give a fuck. There's more hunk and chunkers today than there were back when I learned how to cut meat. So the second type of meat cutter is a production cutter. They have some skill. They listened and they learned along the way and took instructions from guys that were really good. And they were qualified to cut an awful lot of meat at a good pace with some skill to make it look presentable. And that was a production cutter. And there's more production cutters out there than there are hunk and chunkers or truly surgical meat cutters, which I was. I was borderline. I was production cutter / surgical. I've known Robert. Not Robert. Well, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. I've known 4 meat cutters in my day that were surgical with that knife. That can cut fast and precise. To make the meat look like it was meant for a photo shoot in an advertisement. Would make your dick hard looking at that in the meat casing guy. I gotta have that steak. Give me that. Give me 4 of those strip steaks. Give me 4 of those ribeyes, package them up, one to a package. That is a surgical cut. Where you look at it, you get excited just looking at it. Makes your nipples hard. Oh my God, look at that beautiful steak. So that was the beginning of the video. I'm going to go into the nuts and bolts of it right now. When I learned how to cut meat years ago, you had a shitload of skilled meat cutters around you. I did at least. Shitload of meat cutters that were skilled. They didn't need to use the meat saw. The only time they used the meat saw was for like bone-in meat, like T-bone, T-bone steaks, bone-in rib steaks, bone ribeye steaks, that kind of stuff. Or cutting a pork loin with a bone in it. Most guys preferred to use just their blade, just their knife. Because they can do a lot of damage with just a blade, just a knife. They can cut through the tendons and through the muscles and not even touch a bone. That is considered surgical. My buddy Roger, surgical. The guy that works for him every now and then, his name's Rob Surgical. I mean, so Rob can cut some meat. His shit was pretty. Ah, well, so was Rogers. And then there's Robert. I used to work with him. He's pretty damn surgical. These are old school guys like myself that were cutting meat long before I learned how to cut meat. And I learned a little bit from these guys. Was I surgical like them? No. No, I wasn't that good. I was good, but I wasn't that good. And then that went on for a really long time. And in the past 10 to 15 years, nationally, these grocery chains were running into the brick wall of nobody wants to work. The brick wall called nobody wants to work. They want to sit in their mommy's basement, pick their ass and flick it, and play video games and live at home under the mommy's rule till they're 30 years old. The workforce in America started to decline and still is declining as we know it today. And these grocery stores and these butcher shops still needed meat cutters. And every year more people retired. And they had to replace them with people. We need bodies. We need people to learn how to cut meat. Well, you just don't wake up cutting meat. To really know how to do it correctly, it could take a full year just to get around it, just to be comfortable with it. And then it takes 3 years to really become skilled. 2 years before I retired, they were hiring clowns off the street. Clowns with no experience in grocery, no experience in meat. The only experience they had with meat was eating a burger at a restaurant. They were paying them the exact wage I was getting that I had to earn through blood, sweat, and tears to get to that position. Oh, we're going to pay you exactly what Gary makes an hour. And we're going to make you an assistant head meat cutter. We just need help. Help, we need help. Then that guy he doesn't know anything about cutting meat. And the company goes, oh, you can learn. You can learn from the guys that already know how to cut meat. Well, the guys that already know how to cut meat realize that the guy's going to make the same money amount that they're making. Fuck him. I'm not going to show him shit. I hope he cuts his fucking finger off. So that is, it was the birth in recent years. It was the birth, and that was just not my company, every company out there. It was the birth of the Hunk Chunker again. Because back when I learned how to cut meat, every store had a Hunk Chunker. Now they're everywhere. They're like rats. They breed like rats. Every store's got Hunk Chunkers. You look at the quality of the meat in the stores. Looks like a dog's been chewing on it. It used to be a funny ha-ha thing, hey, Hunk Chunker. Now everyone has one. Every grocery store in America's got several of them in the back. Making a lot of goddamn money. Taking all their breaks and doing nothing. Going outside on a break and getting stoned in their car. Maybe popping back a beer. Going back into work. High off the ass. Smoking more pot in the cooler. Or wherever. And cutting meat high off your ass. Hunk and chunk. In closing of this video, because I don't want this one to go long. There's a story. It's an analogy, if you will. Or a comparison. You got one guy over here says, yeah, I was in the Marine Corps for 19 years and I can shoot a target at 100 yards away with a crosswind at 15 mile an hour crosswind with my rifle and hit a bullseye every day, all day. I was a sharpshooter with my rifle. And then you got this guy on this other side goes, yeah, well, I can cut through a human body with my knife because I'm a skilled meat cutter. Without touching bone. I can surgically cut through an animal of any kind, a lion, a tiger, a bear of any kind, or your ass without touching a bone. I'm surgical. What would you rather have on your team if you're in the thick of things and you're at war? I'd rather have the guy with the knife who could surgically take care of business. Doesn't make a bang, doesn't go boom. Just pull it out, pull it out. You know? And that's the difference between a hunk and chunker. I'm using that as an example. The rifle guy is a hunk and chunker. The guy with a knife is a craftsman, is a surgical craftsman with a knife. That's the best comparison I can use it when people don't know what I mean by that. When they say, what do you mean by a hunk and chunker? That I just gave it to you right there. The guy with the guy with the rifle can shoot at 1,000 yards with a 15-mile-an-hour crosswind. That's a hunk and chunker. Versus the guy with the knife that can cut through anything without touching bone. That's a craftsman. That's a skilled surgical meat cutter. That's all I got, people. I did this one today because I had a few people comment, hey, why do you call yourself the butcher boy? You never talk about meat cutting. Well, I talked about it a little bit today. I'll talk about some more crazy shit tomorrow and the next day. All right, have a fantastic Saturday. Hope you stock up on plenty of meat, plenty of party goods. Wherever it is in your life, wherever it is in the world, and you're going to be having picnics, be safe. Take care of yourselves and each other. Peace out.